Ouvrage Billig. Ouvrage Billig, a gros ouvrage or large fortification of the Maginot Line, was located in the fortified sector of Thionville, Moselle in northern France. It is located between the gros ouvrages Metrich and Hackenberg, facing Germany. It saw relatively little action during World War II, and after a period of reserve duty in the 1950s, was abandoned in the 1970s. Design and construction. Billig was approved for construction by Corps Commissioned Organisation des Régions Fortifiées, the Maginot Line's design and construction agency, in June 1930 and became operational by 1935 at a cost of 65 million francs. The contractor was Osud of Paris. Description: this gros ouvrage is unusual in having one entrance for both ammunition and personnel. It lacks the large moan magazine of other gros ouvrages. The dogleg-shaped layout is relatively short for a gros ouvrage, with less than 1,000 meters 3,300 ft of underground gallery at an average depth of 30 meters 98 ft from the entrance to the farthest combat block. Like all gros ouvrages, Billig was provided with a 60 cm railway running through the gallery system to provide material. The railway continued out the single entrance and connected to the railway system paralleling the front and the rear zones. Mixed entry, inclined ramp, 2 automatic rifle/anti-tank gun embrasures James/AC-47. The mixed entry combines ammunition and personnel access, which is usually separated in a gros ouvrage. Block 1, infantry block with 1 James/AC-47 embrasure, 1 machine gun embrasure JM and 2 automatic rifle cloches GFM. Block 2, infantry block with 1 machine gun turret and 1 GFM cloche. Block 3, infantry block with 1 JM/AC-37 embrasure, 1 JM embrasure and 2 GFM cloches. Block 4, artillery block with 2 75 mm gun embrasures, 1 75 mm gun turret, 1 grenade launcher cloche LG, and 1 GFM cloche. Block 5, artillery block with 2 75 mm gun embrasures and 1 GFM cloche. Block 6, artillery block with 81 mm mortar turret and 1 GFM cloche. Block 7, observatory block with 1 GFM cloche, 1 grenade launcher cloche and 1 periscope cloche VDP. Casemates and shelters. Several small blockhouses with machine guns and anti-tank guns were located around Billig. The Casemates des Anges provided peacetime above-ground barracks and support services to Billig and other ouvrages in the area. Manning. The manning of the ouvrage in 1940 comprised 521 men and 16 officers of the 167th Fortress Infantry Regiment and the 151st Position Artillery. The units were under the umbrella of the 42nd Fortress Corps of the 3rd Army, Army Group 2. History. See Fortified Sector of Thionville for a broader discussion of the events of 1940 in the Thionville sector of the Maginot Line. Billig was not subjected to significant attack by the Wehrmacht in 1940, although an aerial bomb penetrated the 81 mm mortar turret in Block 6 on 15 June, killing 2. The area around Billig did not become active until late June 1940, but German infiltration persisted until the June 25 armistice. Billig fired 20-30 75 mm shots in support of Hackenberg on the 24th. After the armistice, Billig was used for explosive effects testing by the Germans. Blocks 1 and 2 and the magazine of Block 5 were subjected to projectile penetration tests and gas explosions. Block 2's turret was blasted into the air, falling back into its opening. Billig was assaulted by the U.S. 90th Infantry Division in September 1944 and captured after 2 days of fighting. Following its capture, Billig was used for ordnance testing by the U.S. Army. Following the war, the Maginot Line was viewed as a means of slowing an advance by Warsaw Pact forces, and most of the northeastern positions were renovated and rearmed. Replacement of 75 mm guns with 105 mm guns was proposed for Billig. However, the program was abandoned, and after a period of routine maintenance, Billig's status was lowered to an active reserve and finally abandoned. Billig is abandoned and vandalized, with openings closed off to prevent access. The above-ground installations remain visible.